In this video we are going to be drawing pyramids. So remember, when you draw a pyramid, we want to draw all of the edges, the base and the edges coming up to the vertex. Any sides in the base that are parallel to each other, make sure that they are shown as parallel. And then anything that's in the back needs to be a dashed line or a dotted line. So, just like with the cone, we could have the base at the top or at the bottom. Typically I draw them with the base at the bottom. So if I'm going to do a square rectangular base pyramid, I'm going to start by drawing a parallelogram to represent the base. Then I need to choose a point for the vertex of it. Now, the one thing that I always sort of watch for as I'm placing my point is I try not to make it right along this left side, so that I want to have it either high enough or low enough that those two edges don't look like they're one continuous line. So if I make it a high enough point, and ideally it's going to be right over top of the center of the base to make it a right pyramid. So from this point, we don't have to draw the height, but sometimes that's helpful depending on what you're going to do with it. Then I want to connect this point to each of the four vertices of the base. And so if I connect it to the front, I know I'm going to be able to see that one. So that's a solid line. The back is inside that one. If I had a lower point, it may be a solid line, but a higher point, this now is going to be a dashed line. And then the other two should be visible, so they should be solid lines. Now, as I was drawing my base, I should recognize that the back sides of it typically are going to be dashed lines. The one on the left might not be. The one in the back will almost always be. And so I'm going to change those into dashed lines. Make sure this is a solid line coming through. And there's a square-based pyramid. Now if I wanted a different shape on the base, a triangle perhaps, and so I'm going to start by drawing the triangle. And then I'm going to choose a point somewhere up above and connect that to each vertex. This one's in the back. This one's in the front. Now, again, my triangle means that these should be dashed lines. And so we just erase if we need to, and draw these again. So this triangle is at the bottom. I don't know if this will help. I'm going to try shading it in to see if that makes this point feel like it's right above the center here. A little bit harder to draw. I'm going to try drawing a right triangle. Draw a different shape of triangle here. So I'm going to connect to all three vertices. Oops, that wasn't a very good line. And then this line here that is in the back, I would need to change it into a dashed line. So this line's solid, this one is solid, that's solid, and this one is the dashed line. Perhaps that one might be a little bit easier to see as being a pyramid. especially if I get that line erased a little bit better. So, drawing these three-dimensional shapes is not easy. I'm not a great artist, but I've been practicing drawing these for years, and if you really focus on drawing the base, focus on those parallel sides, get the sides, the edges that are in the back as dashed lines, eventually you will be able to draw these. And so I want you to practice.